Sir, this line is for property owners. The shelter's down the street. The woman's voice sliced through the crowded county land office. Richard Cole tightened his grip on the old leather folder in his hand. He had heard worse in his 55 years, but the room still tilted with shame. His vest was wrinkled from travel, his shoes scuffed, but that didn't make him homeless. It made him a veteran coming home. A burly security guard stepped forward, eyes sharp with judgment. "You heard her. You don't belong here." Before Richard could speak, the guard yanked his shoulder, spinning him toward the glass doors. The crowd parted, curious but silent. His body slammed into the cold glass, the folder slipping from his hands. Papers spilled across the floor. A small silver medal rolled to the woman's heels. She kicked it aside like trash. "Nice prop, old man." Richard bent to collect his things. His fingers trembled as he picked up the medal. Behind him, someone filmed on their phone. He didn't turn, he didn't speak, but someone else had seen everything. Outside, the winter air stung worse than the bruises. Richard sat on the concrete steps, his hands still wrapped around the medal. Faint scratches on its surface caught the sun. His mind drifted to another time. 20 years ago, his wife lay dying because a rural clinic didn't treat people like them. He had held her hand, powerless. That same week, the army offered him a general's star. He had turned it down. No promotion could fix what the world broke. Footsteps approached. A young woman's voice cut through the fog. That medal. Did you serve in Kandahar?" Richard looked up. The woman had bright brown eyes and soft curls tucked into a red scarf. His heart skipped. Sarah, his late daughter's adopted child. He hadn't seen her since the funeral. I work inside. I didn't know you were here." Her words stumbled, but her eyes burned with quiet defiance. A silence settled. The crowd behind the glass had started watching. Sarah's gaze flicked toward the office. "You should come back." Richard stared at the folder in his lap. It wasn't just paperwork. It was the blueprint of everything they'd erased him from. The room fell silent when Richard re-entered, this time flanked by Sarah and a wiry old man with a military pin on his coat. The same guard tensed but didn't move. Richard walked to the main desk. Julia Monroe, the smug clerk, smirked until Richard placed the folder down, flipping to the final page. His name was signed beside the title, Lead Structural Engineer, Department of Defense, Infrastructure Unit. The blueprints bore the seal of the Army Corps. "You're claiming ownership?" Julia scoffed. Richard met her gaze, his voice steady. "I'm not claiming, I'm confirming. I designed this entire flood protection system. This land wouldn't exist without my work." Murmurs rippled through the room. The old man behind Richard stepped forward, voice gravelly. 15 years ago, he pulled me out of a collapsed barrack. I'd listen to him." Julia's mouth opened, but no sound came. Richard straightened his jacket. "I'm not here for revenge. I'm here to remind you, dignity isn't assigned by how we look." He turned and walked out, the silence behind him heavier than any insult. Sometimes, dignity isn't granted by title or appearance, but by the quiet weight of truth. Richard Cole didn't need a confrontation. His legacy spoke louder than the insults. In the end, the land he built will stand long after the arrogance fades. Stories like Richard's remind us, justice isn't always loud, but it's watching. If this story moved you, share your thoughts below and subscribe for more. Life's hidden gems are often hidden in silence, waiting to be seen.